and I was running on the treadmill. So there was a gentleman and a lady. They asked me, "Oh, are you a runner?" I was like, "No, it's just, I do cardio for about 20 minutes on the treadmill." So this gentleman and lady was Shetty and Shetty. Running is a thing of joy. So I think with gadgets, without gadgets, running is fun anyway. Running gives you a lot of joy and happiness.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of RunPlayGo-Unfiltered, where we explore the mind, heart and grit behind endurance sport. I'm Shivani Singh, your host, a marathoner, media professional and someone who believes that true transformation comes through movement. Today's episode is not just about finish lines, it's about the journey of showing up consistently, the resilience built over years and the quiet breaking of stereotypes. And I couldn't think of two better people to have this conversation with than our guests today, Gunjan, Raina and Dimple Bisht. Both of them have rewritten what's possible through consistency, courage and community. With ultra marathons, podium finishes and a deep commitment to wellness, they have turned passion into a way of life and in doing so, inspired many. So whether you are a new runner, an ultra aspirant or just someone curious about how far the human spirit can go, stay with us. This one's about endurance as a mindset. Let's dive in. Welcome guys, it's a privilege and an honor to have both of you lovely ladies on the show today.
Thank you so much, Shivani. It gives me immense pleasure to be a part of RunPlayGo. And this is my first podcast. I'm really excited to be a part.
What a pleasure.
Thank you. I'd say was in fact my first podcast and being a part of RunPlayGo, amazing. I'm very excited to be a part.
I'm truly honored for this privilege. So, we'll quickly jump into the questions now. So, starting with you, Gunjan.
Perfect.
Looking at your spectacular story, some of the things that caught my eye, and we will delve into that later. But the first question is first, which is, can you take us back to your first 10K at Powai Run? What really got you started?
Yes, so this was long back, firsts are always special.
Yes.
So we had moved from Chandigarh to Mumbai. And I happened to join the gym. And I was running on the treadmill. So there was a gentleman and a lady. They asked me, "Oh, are you a runner?" I was like, "No, it's just, I do cardio for about 20 minutes on the treadmill." So this gentleman and lady was Shetty and Shetty.
Wow. And as the luck would have it.
That's a big start.
So we lived in the same society, same tower. And they told me that there's a Powai Run coming up. Why don't you run? So Suniel gave me a plan. And just a day before the race, Suniel called up and said, "What are your plans?" So I was a part of DYRT, which is Did You Run Today group. So I told them that, I've heard something like sub 60. Everybody talks about it. So that's what I would like to do. And he says, I would like to pace you. So at that point of time, I never knew what pacing is. So he said, "You just have to follow me. I'll run and you have to follow me." So the race started and I followed Suniel. And I completed my first 10K in 57:31.
Wow.
And by the end of the race, I never knew it's a good timing or not. But towards the end of the race, I felt really, really nice. And I felt that this is something which I have to do.
And
so that's how it
started. That got you hooked for forever, I guess.
Forever.
And this is for you, Suniel and Sangi. 3 cheers to you guys. Till the time that we come back to you for the other version of this conversation, we'll stick with Gunjan's version.
So they are my inspiration and that's how.
Absolutely, for a lot of us actually. Yeah. They're the true icons of our running ecosystem, if I can say that.
Yeah, and I've seen in Mumbai, there's not a single day that they miss their workout.
Absolutely.
So one day would be run, the other day they would be at gym.
Yes, so absolutely. So Gunjan, that takes me to that point. What was running like when it was just you? There were no gadgets, there were no big goals, there were no plans as such. And it was just the joy of running, I guess.
Yeah, I think, it's a beautiful thing. Running is a thing of joy. This reminds me of John Keats, when he says, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, but it will never pass into nothingness, and still will keep a bower quiet for a sadder sleep." So when you run just for the fun of running, you can, it gives you a different kind of joy. So when you're running without gadgets, there's more enhanced awareness of your body. So I think with gadgets, without gadgets, running is fun anyway. Running gives you a lot of joy and happiness.
That's so well put. Dimple, coming to you now, and it's a very similar story in a lot of ways. Your first half marathon in 2019.
Yeah.
No coach, no plan, just instinct.
Yeah.
What motivated you that day?
So my first half marathon was IDBI, and which is now polar tires, right? And yes, it was my instinct which helped me come up with a half marathon. I just randomly registered it spontaneously, something is coming up and everybody's feeling. Let me try that too, without any coach, without any nutrition plan. Nothing was planned. So the instinct that I had was I want to see how beyond the urge to challenge myself, to see how beyond I can go without my limits. And it was, of course, a feeling of being bold. It was a feeling of being, coming from a comfort zone. And that's what made me, coming up with this run as a journey for me, a turning point.
And as a way to challenge yourself.
Definitely, yes.
You were a school, from what we spoke about, you were a school athlete.
I was a school athlete. I used to participate in many events in long jumps and shot puts and all.
Yes.
Thereafter, in the college time, everything was like, since the focus was completely on the studies part, obviously everything was good.
A lot of us end up doing that. I was a school athlete too, and then there was a long break in between. But the bug of running, or the feeling of being able to really move your body in that manner never leaves you.
So that is
And
how
at the first given opportunity, we jump back. So I completely relate with
So I started running at the age of 40. So
Wow.
I had never run before.
Yeah.
I was not a school athlete,
Yeah.
but yes, I was into board games and chess. So now I feel that, I wish that I would have been, a school athlete or started running. So running is so much of...
Absolutely. So just to follow up on that, Dimple, this absolutely raw decision of running 21K, did you feel out of place or did you feel empowered by it?
All right. Initially, maybe a little bit, if I talk about, but strangely, I must say that I was very happy. It was like the rawness was lack of pressure. I was running with the whole thing. Pressure, that was something I was empowered.
Yes, true. Yes.
And because I was not chasing any timelines, I was not chasing any podiums, I was enjoying the run.
Absolutely.
And this that's what I mentioned, that is a turning point for me.
Correct.
Where, since I know where I can move on to, I got a chance to work on myself to see how far I can go. And this is what the turning point, it makes a complete journey a different way.
Absolutely.
That's how I landed up here.
Great.
So, yeah.
Just to flip on that, tell me about it. It's a long journey. It's been, 65 runs over so many years. And each journey has its highs and lows.
Yes.
So tell me about a time when an injury or a low phase tested your commitment.
I would talk about the injury first. This was a 12-hour stadium run which I was doing. And just 15 days before the run, I developed a shin pain in the right leg. As soon as I used to do 500 meters, the pain would rise. And after that, there was no way that I could run. And I would walk. I remember very clearly running on the GCR and stopping by the side and sitting and thinking, what's happening? And then I decided to still continue with the 12-hour run because I got to know that you have to do 55 kilometers to be able to get the certificate.
Correct.
So I calculated that even if I walk 12 hours, so I'll be able to do 55. So I reached the stadium, I reached the start line and I started. Somehow the vibes, runners' vibes, and they're different,
Yeah.
Once I started, I don't know, there was no pain. And I kept running and I did 87 kilometers.
Wow.
And so that was one time which I felt very difficult for injury. And there are always highs and lows in your personal lives and, running career also. So when I started running in Mumbai, my first year, I did very well. And I was nominated for the Mumbai Road Runners Awards, Best Debut Female.
Wow.
And I was also selected the winner for the same.
Superb.
And the day I was supposed to receive the award, I lost my father the same day. He was in Delhi that time. So I flew from Mumbai to Delhi. And when I went back, it took me about a month to get back. Every morning I would just get up, get ready, wear my shoes, try to go. But I would just walk 200 meters and come back home. But there was a race which I had registered just before, I came to Delhi, which was a 25 kilometers Sanjay Gandhi National Park in Mumbai.
Yes.
So I had to do a 25K, which was my longest that time. So I still made it to the start line, and I thought, let me see, what happens. I started and I completed the run in about 2:50. And by the end of the run, I was a changed person. Throughout the run, I was thinking about my dad, and by the time it ended, it gave me a feel-good factor. So again, I started. So this is one of the lows. And also a similar one after COVID, definitely, I think that was for many of the people.
Yes.
And just before COVID, I had done Devbhoomi marathon, and I was a winner for that. My last kilometer in that race was 4.15.
Oh my God.
And 21st kilometer. And
What a
and
jam.
after that, but after COVID, I have never been able to get back to even 5. So there are challenges, But the most difficult was when I went to Khardula. I was in Ladak, and I had to come just a day before.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
I've lost my mother-in-law. The most difficult was that I was very close to her. She was one of my cheerleaders, and she used to always, support me. So that took a toll on me, and somehow for about a year and 2 months,
Yes.
I was not training. I was participating in races, as an ambassador pacer, but then somehow the real training could not start. But then slowly, you have support, you have your group, you have, Shivani and Podium, everybody. And then I again got back into running. So there are
Absolutely. So, and as they say, it's not just the physical endurance. Your example, multiple times, really represents the mental endurance, the emotional endurance, and the physical endurance that takes to complete an athlete. And that's what the DNA of an athlete is.
Yes, I think that mindset is totally different. That's a feel-good factor which you get, you don't.
Correct. Absolutely. And this mental resilience to keep coming back again and again and again, irrespective of all the challenges that we face, not just at a physical level, but also emotional and mental levels, right? Yeah, sure. Fantastic, yeah. And
I'm very inspired, actually.
yeah, absolutely.
Let's see how we inspire each other.
And yeah, truly. I'm absolutely loving this conversation.
The reason I'm sharing all this is that people need to know that there will be things that
yes,
they may not be the way that you want.
Yeah, but you come back. Yeah, you have to overcome and come back.
So I'm a firm believer of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, "Aap karam karo and phal ki chinta mat karo." You have to keep doing it. You have to come back.
So Dimple, coming back to you on that. Shin splints in 2020, a long recovery.
Yeah.
And still you came back stronger. So what shifted during that period?
So shin splint was my first injury in 2020, somewhere in the month of November, December it happened. And of course, being an active person is quite frustrating sitting at home, I was not doing anything. You're like, oh my God. But this was again a turning point, and I can explain how. So until I was running, I was hardly paying attention to recovery. I was hardly paying attention to strength training, which actually body requires.
Absolutely.
And these, as I mentioned, there's the setbacks. These setbacks are important because you learn. So I hired a coach who helped me in rehab, because of them I was able to build a strong foundation. And now because of that foundation, I got to know what exactly, how to train and how to work on those injuries, especially if it happens again, you can take care of the proper formation that is required. Apart from this, I personally feel that setbacks do give us a complete, setbacks do give us a complete way of coming back stronger, because you start working in a way which you have never worked. Yes, indeed, definitely it was a challenge, I must say. And I won't lie that without the family support, it's not possible. As I mentioned, I started focusing on recovery as, the training factor comes. So whenever I get a chance to sleep, I definitely sleep. And because training, I believe, even that small recoveries, the sleep pattern is a part of your training, which again I have learned with time, with the setbacks learning, how it's important to sleep to make the body relaxed. You can't just keep on running all the time, all the others. But gradually these setbacks, and we need to balance all the things together with the family and of course added motherhood. So without my husband, it's not possible to, I must say, it's not possible to come up so consistently. So I'm consistent all because of him, because the early mornings are part of my workouts and he manages things in the early morning scenario. That's so that later on I take care of my house.
So it's balancing of the roles as well, which kind of creates the foundation of what you're able to achieve as an athlete.
That's true. So basically motherhood also teaches you, being patient, being resilient.
Yes.
So that's how the journey it's all about.
Gunjan, you've been a pacer.
Yeah.
You've been an ambassador and face of so many events. Did you ever feel like you had to prove something as a woman in this space? It's a very pointed question.
Yeah,
and so many times this comes to the mind that do women have to work extra hard, like in so many other
ways,
spheres that we are in, whether it's corporate life, whether it's, and we all have been a part of the corporate setup as well, society, in terms of societal expectations and so many other ways. So do you think you had to prove something harder?
Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, I never felt a need to prove anything to anyone. And especially when it comes to running, I always feel that I run because I can. And I run because I like it. It's me time, it's for myself. So I never associated myself with this, but definitely many a times. I just shared an incident with you in Mumbai. So I became an ambassador for one of the events. So as soon as the creative was put up in DYRT, Did You Run Today? A gentleman, a fellow runner, wrote a comment saying that it's just because some people are pretty-faced and, photogenic, they are a part of...
That's the kind of... That's what I mentioned. That's what I meant.
So this came up and I saw that, and usually I feel that, because it happens in generally and in life also, it happens that, if you are admired or if you are at a position, irrespective of gender also, there will be people who appreciate you and there will be people who... think otherwise.
Who will question the journey?
Who will always question them, which is not a bad thing. But then one needs to be respectful of questioning, they need to know. So this gentleman put up this thing and I wrote back to him saying that it's okay, it's not just pretty-faced. Why don't we do a 10K face-off, Why don't you come and both of us run a 10K and then you will realize that, whether it's just a pretty face or do I run well or how do you run, let's take it up. Then he realized, this is not the right thing to do, and he apologized on the platform.
Absolutely.
But yes, it happens. People do face this.
So, following up on that, so what stereotype around women and endurance sports specifically do you most want to break?
Yeah, so as Dimple said, as far as I'm concerned, I'm very fortunate. I've been fortunate enough to have people who support everywhere, whether it's swing office or whether it's swing. But definitely women in endurance sports or any kind of sports, they face a lot of difficulties. They just don't have to, as you said, when I started endurance running, my both children were going to school. I was in a job where I need to travel intensively. But then I managed. But you have people, I know women who feel a lot of difficulty managing all that. So it is there. And I think as a community, we need to support and we need to be mindful. We need to be always encouraging women and others also, but definitely women because they face a lot of difficulties.
There are different pressures and challenges which are there. So is there a stereotype you think which is there that maybe women cannot reach either the distances or, some of the races that we do?
As
or
far as
Dimple just
yes.
podiumed at Kalimpong, one of the toughest ultra runs, right, in the country.
There's
and
nothing,
you have done
there's
so
nothing
many.
that a women cannot do, and in fact there are studies which show that in endurance sports
Women are actually stronger. Absolutely.
it is still there that men outperform because the number of women in endurance sport is less.
Itself is
So,
yes.
so I'm very proud to be a woman because I know for sure that if we get the same kind of opportunity, if I had the same amount of time to train, and if I had not had to do many things, definitely I'm very sure that women are much stronger when it comes to endurance sports.
So endurance is gender agnostic in a very
Yes.
large way.
Yes,
Everything
it is.
else being equal.
And
Lovely.
yeah.
So now, Dimple, as a working professional and as a parent, have you faced bias around your time, priorities, or ambition?
Yeah, just definitely. As a working professional and a parent, yes, it happens that people question about the priorities and all. Like, I used to skip family functions because I had to recover and rest. That's what's very dear for me because my goals are very dear set. But again, as I mentioned in my earlier conversation with you, that due to my husband, I was able to manage things well. So he understands, like, why I'm in recovery, and this had really helped me cover up. Because if you have a longer goals, if you have a goal set,
Yes.
and that technical change in yourself, proper good lifestyle comes, there are times that people starting respecting
Exactly.
instead of questioning it. Initial, yes, I had a difficulties, I will not deny.
Yeah.
But gradually building up those difficulties to a level where I am today has actually changed the mindset of people around.
Which is so
Now
amazing.
I would say, if
Absolutely.
I miss any sort of function, they accept it.
Yeah.
So okay, fine, we have a run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plan is going. Absolutely. Oh my God.
Look at the change. Yeah, look at the switch that's happened. Absolutely.
So that's something I would say,
Yeah.
with time, things happen because you need to earn that.
Absolutely.
And I think with time, that span of 6 years of my learning career, yes, it has. I've earned that respect. I've earned that either from the person, friends, circle around, or a family fight. They now do understand what recovery and rest for me is. Why I skip my runs and why I skip my family functions.
Yeah.
They are reasons.
Absolutely. So, and you kind of made this non-negotiable in your life, and that lends us, a very different kind of respect in people around us as well. So,
People get inspired.
Absolutely.
That's how we motivate each other.
correct.
Because I used to set an example.
Yes.
So obviously, a lot of time and effort is required to come back to that particular level.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But a good experience altogether.
So now I'll talk about one of the, I think the most, your 50K win at Redstone Ultra,
Yeah.
which kind of set the ball rolling for you in Ultra. What was special about that race?
So I remember that race rather fondly. There's a humorous incident that happened, so I'll try to share that. So this was centered around right after my niece's wedding. So I was busy with the wedding, and just few days before the ultra, I called up the race director and I shared with him that I've not been able to train well. So should I shift to 30K instead of doing 50K? So he very clearly said, he talks like that. He said कि देखो अगर ट्रेनिंग नहीं किया है, I would suggest कि you don't do 30 also. आप कुछ मत करो क्योंकि trail is very difficult.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll get back to you. Just a day before the race, Expo, I took the bib and everything and decided to go for it. I thought I'll just enjoy, let me go for it because it's my 50K and it was my first ultra. So I very fondly remember a very humorous incident. Vishwas is briefing.
Yes.
He's briefing and he says, in the middle of the briefing, he looks at me and says, there is only one place जहाँ पे मेटल रोड है मांगर में, वहाँ पे आपको कैब मिलेगी और कहीं नहीं मिलेगी. तो आपको जब लगे कि आप नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, you have to take the cab from Mangar and come back to the finish line because there's no other way on the trail that you will be able to get any help or any cab.
Correct.
So while he was speaking all this, he was only looking at me because he knew that, this girl has not...
And you've had that conversation with him.
Yeah, so I said, okay. And we started And the train is beautiful. I would suggest that anybody who lives in Gurgaon must do this. So I started and I went on and went on. I remember reaching that Mangarwala Lake, and there was one gentleman. He said, "Arey, tu to fail ho gayi, you know, sare ladke tere se aage chale gaye." You know,
Oh my God.
You know, you had, it's a wonderful trail actually.
Yeah.
And then I kept going and I finished the race. You know, the reason was that there was a lake which you would be able to cross only if you're doing 50.
Correct.
If I was doing 30, I would not have been able to cross that lake.
So that was the incentive.
So that was the incentive, and I finished the race, and I was the only female finisher. There were 5 other females, and I was the winner for the race. And
Wow.
it was very interesting. So that gets me back to the mindset. You know,
Yes.
if you have that joy of running inside you, you can do whatever you want. You know, I had that positivity. I was very happy to see that area because I had never been there, and I'm very fond of trails.
I wanted to, in fact, interject in the middle while you were
Sure,
narrating this. When you crossed that metal road,
Yeah.
was it tempting?
Not at all. I wanted to see what else is there.
Yeah,
Because
what's
it's
beyond the metal
beautiful.
road?
Yes, it was a beautiful trail. So I was, but when I reached there, I was very happy that I'm still strong and going strong. So that's how it was. So it was a great thing because it was my first ultra and I was a winner. I was very happy.
And the firsts are always so special.
so special. Definitely.
So coming to your other big ultra, which was the 100K at the border.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically.
Yeah.
So this was a game switch from a 50 to 100.
Right.
What got you to the finish line in this team?
Again, I would say it's just the passion for running and the love for ultra running. I am sure that all people who
But that's a big switch from 50 to 100. It's double the distance.
So
and it's not a mental escalation only.
Yeah.
That 50 into 2 is just 100. I know what it takes.
So I
the toll
still
it takes
feel
on your body.
Yes. So still, when you meet people who are non-runners and you tell them that you run 100K, so they are kind of surprised.
Yes.
100K? How can you be running? But then I see that so many people run 100K. So, that was one of the things which I've seen, especially, it comes from the group also. You have people who prepare.
Yes.
They're running, crazy, like 24 hours. They're running all the time. And I think it comes from that also.
Yeah.
And also the love for ultra running. You know. When you think that you have to do 100, you want to be a centurion. There's a term which my Kosher runners tell me. They say you are a Shatakveer. So,
Wow.
For these terms, for the love of all this. So this 100K was, I think it's more of a mental game. It's also, something that you see that, how much you can go.
It's a self-challenge.
It's a self-challenge.
And it's a bug. Ultra is a bug.
Yeah.
If it,
and
once it
again,
bites
an
you-
interesting incident here when I did my 100. I reached Jaisalmer. I'm very fond of milk, kadai, doodh, and dairy products.
In the Big Expo.
I want to share this because, I want people to know when they're running. Although everybody knows this, but still I would like to share. So I reached this place. There's a place called Prabhuti Stall. Everybody meets there, most of the runners. It's a meet and greet point before border. And he had this kadai milk, and I took a glass of it. I really liked it. I took another glass, and then I had dinner, dal bati churma with ghee, and I was back to the hotel. So next day is the Bib Expo, and as soon as I reached the hotel, within 2 hours, I felt nauseatic, and I was puking throughout the night. Morning, I was not in a position to even stand. There were friends who came from Gurgaon, and they said, "Where are you?" I said, "I can't move. I'm feeling very weak." So that day, still I decided to go and take the bib because I thought I've come all the way to Jaisalmer. So I went, I put on makeup and good dress, and I just reached to take selfies and pictures. I took my bib, and my husband Vishal, who has always been supportive, he was with me, and he said, "How are you going to manage? It's not a small distance, it's 100K.
Yeah.
So But then another thing which I've learned from Vishwas only is that, he says that DNF is not something you have to worry about.
Yes.
So I thought, I've come all the way. Why not start?
Yeah.
And I was very sure that if I don't feel good, I'll give up.
Of course.
Not. But then it's not true. I didn't want to give up. So I just went to the start line. I started. I went slow. I got called from, Gurgaon runners. I got called from Gaurav, how you're doing, from Mika. And there's a girl called Ruchi. She was with me all the time. So I reached 60. At 60, I had food. I had chai. I had halwa also. And I think it gave me a lot of energy. And from 60 to 100, I was running with Gaurav Chawra. And I did not stop. Somehow, the route was so tempting, especially after the sunset. You see the shooting stars, you see the it's a beautiful route to be with.
And the run takes over, I guess, at some point of time.
Yes, it's totally different. And 60 to 100 was quite good. And by about 100, I was also ready to go for another 10K. So it was a total change for me. And I think if you have that love and you want to do something,
absolutely,
everything helps you.
And I think also, you spoke about it, the power of our lovely community here.
Definitely.
I did Ladak full last year.
Yes.
And I have so much gratitude for, I was coming out of a long injury period myself at that time.
Yes.
You guys know that, I was almost 6-8 months I was struggling. And like you said, that even for 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, my pain would come back in the ankle. So apart from the injury part, I'd signed up for and that was one of my, very coveted goals for the year. And I have to thank a few people for that, finally being able to do that and do that well.
Definitely.
And that's the community for you. So Gaurav, and, there was somebody who was actually doing that run along with me, and he will soon be on the show.
Yeah.
And actually we ran together. And so even if there were spots where you would feel that, the injury is coming back or whatever, but the power of community just kicks in.
I totally.
So many finish lines are so special because of the camaraderie and the support that we get in the moments when we are not at our best.
Yes.
True.
So even while I was running 100K, there was a gentleman whom I did not know. And he was like, because he knew that she's not well. And he was like, I'll run along with you. I said, no, you carry on with your run. So that is the power we have. That's the camaraderie we share.
Yeah, absolutely.
The way we motivate you in time of the low tide, that people can't able to walk, I says, if you motivate those, words does matter.
Yes.
It is another power in that.
Yes, true.
So Dimple, coming to you now, your OT 60K podium in 24. And I know it's a brutal race. And that was your first ultra.
That was my first ultra. So OT.
So how did that race unlock for you? Because the first ultra, and that too picking on such a tough one as your first.
OT ultra was actually my first ultra, and landing with the podium, which is again a surprising for me. It's very close to me because this run has really taught me a lot. I got to know that I'm capable of doing something more. The moment as we talk about unlock, the belief in myself that increased a lot. That's I'm meant for it. The moment I finished it, Dimple, you're meant for it. Now you have to
You discovered a different aspect of your endurance.
And I feel that every run you learn a lot of things.
Yes.
The challenges are different, you learn more. So I feel that the challenges that you learn during your running, because you're all by yourself. And there's no person, there's no person in front of you. There's no one who's running behind you. And you're just by yourself. You're in a different zone of emotions. The learning I have got is, yes, there's always a turning point coming up. And you run. And the best part about ultra is, it's a meditation for me. I can't sit and meditate, I'm very honest.
Correct.
And I meditate when I'm running.
It's meditation in motion.
Yes.
Definitely. You are in a different zone, and I love that zone. And that's the reason I thought, this is something that I meant for.
So OT unlocked your ultra.
Definitely.
Basically.
That's it. So that's how it is supposed to me.
Yes.
No, that was supposed to grueling.
Yes.
Very grueling. But a good experience to do it.
Amazing. And right after that came your hell race 100K. Brutal terrain, long distance.
Yeah.
What was the toughest part?
So hell race, yes, another different terrain with different challenges. At 15 kilometers, started having a severe cramps. But yes, I decided to move on with those cramps to complete my 100K. The reason behind what made me, ultra makes you, or ultra when I say running, it makes you mentally very strong.
Yes.
And since I had put a lot of effort during my trainings, I know I had, skipped multiple parties and social circles, and I have spent a lot of time in recovery and working on myself to come up to this level. I decided I will take up this challenge and I'll move on. Because though it was challenging, coming up, the cramps were actually very severe. So I used to have that ball in me every time I used to stand with the organizer. Every 5 kilometers, they were like organizers. I held them, asked take their help to stretch myself, and then I move on. But yes, it's a mental game. You become more stronger, and gradually with those points, and obviously, and at 60, I remember that I started limping also because we have to change our layers. I start from the low where the brutal heat is there, and thereafter there's a dip in the temperature, and then we were changing our layers. And I said, since you're cramping, the body stops, and again, you can't walk.
Yes.
Then I decided somehow, obviously the medical team was there, who was again helping in stretching, and thereafter I decided now I will not stop. So from 60 to 100, I went like I was just on my toes. I was just running back. I didn't stop at all. That's how, as I mentioned, it's a mental game.
It's a mental game.
Forget about the pain, because whatever pains it comes, whatever scenarios comes, they are irrespective of your, the completion. If I want to complete a run, I'll do it in some or the other way.
Yes.
I know that, the weather will be, of course, is a challenge, but coming up with a lot of, you basically have multiple challenges coming up picture, but when analyzing every dance. So obviously in this, the cramp was something which was like added to me apart from the weather one.
Yes.
And 100K itself is a
It's a
terrain.
absolutely.
Yeah, the race taught me to be resilience is not loud, it's quiet and steady. You still stay very calm and very patient and think about it, how you have to run. It teaches you a lot of things, which you can implement in your real life.
Absolutely. And that's the intersection of, a lot of different aspects of our life, whether it's work, whether it's parenthood, running, and so much other relationships. All of this intersects at the point where mental resilience comes into play.
I agree.
Women in endurance, ultra women mindset.
Same here.
It's such a kick. I love it.
I can see you in ultra soon then.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully this year's goal.
Yes, I like it, and all the best to you.
Thank you, Dimple.
It's a different experience.